Hello fellas, it's been a while since the last video, sorry for the delay. The university started and I already want to die. Why it has to be so hard. Thank you so much for all the support in the last video. I never thought I would get that much. In this video I will answer some comments from my last video, and it will be the second part of my unpopular K-pop opinions. Let's get started. First comment was made by Geslin Alamari.
Girls' Generation and SNSD are the same group, they just have multiple names.
I received many comments addressing the situation. In opinion 23 I listed groups from the big three, and said Girls' Generation and SNSD even though they are the same group. I admit that my knowledge of the second generation is very limited, so I apologize for the confusion. And I still don't know how I didn't see there were identical photos on my Google research. I also want to mention Multitrans Mistakes comment about this situation. Thank you very much to the person who wrote it and understood the situation well. By the way, I'm a she.
Jesus Christ, these comments are tragic. People make mistakes and learn from them. Plus, like she said, she gets confused, and it's confusing when there's members leaving them being put into other groups like OGG for example. She probably went away and looked up about it anyway, so it's no big deal.
The next comment was made by Akimi.
Just to prevent you talk about the big three but you only put groups of YG and SM.
I admit I forgot to mention them, so here it goes, 2PM and Wonder Girls. Next comment was made by Tails J. Om Chumbanuigi Noin hi. Jesus Christ girl.
Well honey, if you really want to be a true K-pop stan.
I don't, thank you. Next. Lou Belair said.
Wait, what? So Yin has been in Cube since 2014. So way before she did Unpretty Rap Star and way before Produce 101 as well. Just wanted to correct that.
You are completely right, because days later I found out that. And I thought of what I put on my video and it looks like that I did an oopsie. Sorry. Golden Jikook said.
The BTS ARMY being rude because of multi-fandom people is so true. I'm an ARMY but I'm also XOL. NCT's N Blink once. I got 7, and stay. Just because multi-fan like other groups doesn't mean that they will stop giving love to the idols. Just let them live.
I agree with you 100%. I know that when you stan a lot of groups you have a group there as your favorite and one your least favorite. But that doesn't mean you don't love each group. You're rating them and putting them in a list because of their music and personalities, not by for the love you have for them. The next comment was made by Ivana N. In a long comment she or he gives his opinion regarding some opinions in my first video. Here is the whole comment, feel free to skip or pause to read. But I will go one by one and also remembering what opinion she is referring to. 1. Blackpink.
1. For me, BP are not overrated, they are just overhyped. Because they were the second girl group YG debuted after a very long time. But they are talented. The real problem is that they don't really have the chance to show it. Like the only time the main dancer can show her dances during concerts. The main rapper doesn't get enough rap parts. The main vocalist doesn't have a solo. The main visual who is trained for acting doesn't do anything related to that by her own since her debut. They don't even have a full album. To put it simply, their management team don't really know how to manage them. Also, I don't think Blinks are the most toxic fans. They are toxic, that is for sure, but not the most. I think it is because the fandom is divist. There is a lot more of solo stans than OT4 stans. That is what make them look toxic. 2NE1 and BP both have a girl crush concept, but their influences are totally different. While 2NE1 has a more Japanese style, Blackpink has a very westernized vibe. And they both showed us that girl crush can be done in so many different ways.
13 companies should stop seeking West acceptance. 14 The West does not care about our oppas and unnies.
13 and 14 Finally someone said it. Western do not care at all about K-pop. Let's take BTS, since they are the biggest K-pop group now. Western medias only see them as a trend. just like the dab few years ago. If you pay attention to some articles, you'll see that they only portray BTS as the K-pop group with a massive fan base who breaks all the American artists' records, and not as a K-pop group who make good music. Even here in France, when they had their concerts, the media were only talking about how expensive it was. Truth is, even thought they have a huge fandom. Americans and Europeans audiences don't care.
19 idols should date.
19, yes, they should date. And I feel like if idols start dating, there will be less A-song because idols will be less accessible. But in terms of marketing, companies will lose for the very same reasons. There will be less obsessive fans, but there also will be less loyal fans, which means a weak fan base. And the thing is, fans don't only buy albums because it is good music, but because they are literally attracted by those idols, which is the concept of being an idol. To sell fantasy in a way.
21BI should not have been kicked out for something so small. 26 American hosts should do more research on idols.
21BI was just collateral damage, and it is so unfair. 26 Another proof that they don't care. Unpopular opinion. International fans should educate themselves more about South Korean culture, because K-pop is Korean pop music and is part of their culture. So to appreciate it more, you need a certain knowledge of their customs and values. I have seen so many fans making so many ignorant comments and assumptions about it.
Sincerely Defiant said.
To anyone created girl crush, how old are you again?
18, about to turn 19. Deanie's baby said.
Not any of these opinions are unpopular. IMAO.
At this point, does any quote-unquote unpopular opinion is truly unpopular? John Cookie said.
I also really hate when ARMY call Jungkook a baby or a baby bunny. It's honestly very cringe for me because he's a grown-ass man and most likely older than you. I think Jungkook himself enjoys that he is the maknae and is babied sometimes, but overall, he wants to be seen as a real man and masculinity is valued to him. I mean, just look at his muscles. Why else would he work out religiously?
I completely agree. He is a grown man, and to be treated like a baby, he already has the other members of BTS. He doesn't need a fandom to call him a baby when they see him gaining so much muscle. His self-love and self-esteem as a man is very affected. Next comment was made by Bitter Yoongi.
The problem is that two of the big three are literally trash. I heard a story, I don't know if it's really true, where the trainees from SM got beaten up and the females got even groped and shit. And you already said what is wrong with YG. The management of both SM and YG is trash.
I think the story you heard is wrong, because EXO's Baekhyun already said in an interview how different the treatment of trainees is before and now, because they are now better treated than before.
일단은 신입 때 일단 핸드폰이 없었어요. 이제는 막 핸드폰 다 들고 다니시고. 그죠. 그리고 또 그 김밥만 1년 내내 저희는 먹었었거든요. 신입 때. 근데 요즘 애들은 뭐 다 설렁탕 먹고.
요즘 애들이라는 게 그 NCT를 얘기하는 건가요?
No, I feel like the possibility of all those possibilities being possible is just another possibility that can possibly happen. Possibilities. Damn!
About the management in both companies, you are right, both companies are complete trash when it comes to the management, but let's not forget that every company has a problem. YG has a problem in everywhere. SM has a big problem of management, and overworks NCT 127, and underworks FX, sometimes even EXO. JYP usually overworked their idols, for example Twice is completely overworked, just like Big Hit that overworks BTS, but at least last year they gave them a break, a well-deserved break. I am not trying to defend YG or SM because I don't stan these two companies, only their idols, but it's just to show you that every company has its problems. They are disadvantages and advantages. Because every company gave us good things too, and that's something we can't forget. YG gave us Big Bang and 21, their rappers are usually the best rappers in the industry. SM has the best vocals in the industry. I'm not saying this just because I am an EXO stan, but you should look to all the main singers in SM. JYP has the best performers, and Big Hit gave us BTS. Next comment was Mad by Kiona.
I don't really understand the Gucci opinion. It Taehyung wearing Gucci a problem now because someone else is an ambassador.
Both Taehyung and Kai use a lot of Gucci, but ARMY say that Tae is a Gucci boy, but Kai is there a Korean Gucci ambassador. The opinion was more a joke, ha ha ha.
I have seen a lot of ARMY saying that Taehyung is the real ambassador and they make petitions so Gucci can hire him FKSMD.
Poor souls, RRR.
I have never seen that. ARMY's only ever just talk about his love for Gucci clothing.
And the last comment for this video was made by Spicy Sausage.
How do you makes these? Crying emoji, crying emoji. I really want to make one LMAO. I have too much to say.
Okay, I will try to explain as best as possible. First, where I do it, my computer is a MacBook Pro with touch bar. My phone is an iPhone 6 and I use iMovie to edit. Second, for the audio I go to my Google Translator application on my phone. There I write the text I want to say on the English side. Note that I use Canada's voice for normal voice and the United States for your voice. Then with the screen recording functionality, I record Google saying what I wrote. Then I go to the gallery and share the videos with my computer via AirDrop, which will soon appear in the Finder. Then I drag the videos to iMovie. Now for the images I don't need to explain, but for the videos. Normally when I want a video to serve as a background I use the screen recording feature on my computer since I can record it without audio, but if I want audio I record with my cell phone. I could record with the computer but the audio gets weird. All the videos I took them from YouTube. Hope this helps. Now that we are done with the comments, let's go for the opinions. 1. BTS didn't pave the way alone. I know very well what I said in my last video. But I also saw a video of unpopular K-pop opinions that I think is the best about this opinion. I will put the clip here and I will also let the link to the video in the description.
Number 2. BTS didn't pave the way by themselves. I don't think that opening a way for opportunities towards the whole K-pop industry is something that can be done by one group only. Of course they are the most influential outside Korea, but it is impossible for just 7 idols to just carry a whole country's music identity internationally. I feel like it's really hard to explain what exactly is on my mind, LMAO, but I'll do my best. For example, this is the road that connects K-pop to the Western recognition it deserves. It needs to be paved, clearly. So this is where we have BTS, ready to work, with enough ability for this job. However, they can't just go and whoosh, there you go. So they need help. Who could help them? The people who actually started paving this road before. That's right, CL, G-Dragon and Psy. Now, they are just for example, of course there are many more, okay? Including 2NE1 and Big Bang. But moving on. Now BTS can happily start from where these people have left off, and obviously receive help and support from other rising groups and artists. But does this make more sense now? I feel like I'm wasting my time editing this, OMF. My point is just that BTS obviously helped but they didn't pave the way alone. In fact, I hate this term, why am I even doing this? FML. K-pop as an industry is growing as an industry and are getting their recognition, as an industry. It wasn't all of BTS's work, is what I'm trying to say. I just wasted so much time, OML.
To the fans. Let's now talk about something that is completely for the fans. Being a stan of a group says a lot about your intentions with the group. It means that you are different from a fan that just appreciate the music. You are a person that is there to support the group in every way and form, and it's a big but. You're not a better stan just because you are longer in the fandom than other people or if you buy more than others do or anything like that. A stan is someone that loves the group. We shouldn't be measuring. I'm going to use myself as an example. I entered K-pop in the beginning of 2018 right after BTS dropped Mic Drop. Nowadays my ultimate group is EXO and I have been their stan for over a year now and I do not own any piece of merch, not a single album or a light stick. But I love EXO love like I have never loved a group. Does that make me less of a stan just because I don't own any merch? And also it's not because I don't vote that means I'm a bad stan. Sometimes I don't have time for it. You're not more or less for doing all these things. And lastly, you're also not better or worse than anyone just because you stand only girl groups or just boy groups, or only famous groups or underrated groups. 3. Everglow's music. In my last video in one of the opinions I said that I didn't think Bon Bon Chocolate was as fantastic as everyone else, but after my video they released their first comeback, Adios, which I'll be honest, I couldn't even get to the middle of the song because I was bored. The song was very similar to the Blackpink Kill This Love, and once again there was no chorus. And now in January came the second comeback, Dun Dun. I had high hopes for this comeback, because I thought it would be different from the others. But it turned out not to be. The music, just like all others, has no chorus. The music is very loud.
Goodbye, ever adios. What? Goodbye, ever adios. Yeah. Goodbye, ever adios. Goodbye, ever adios. You're so dun 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 dun. You're so done. Now you're done.
And all the singing parts were all for MIA, who still had a solo dance break at the end. I'm not blaming the girls, but the producers. This comeback was very disappointing. I am waiting for the next one and I just hope that the producers try something different. I really want to get into Everglow, but with this music I can't. For Blackpink's music isn't similar. To prove my point I went to YouTube and I listened to every single music video of every music that Blackpink has. First I listened to Boom Bae, second I listened to As If It's Your Last. Third I listened to Playing With Fire, fourth I listened to Whistle, and fifth I listened to Stay. I didn't listen D4 or To Kill This Love because I am regularly listen to those two songs, so there was no need to watch them again. None of the songs were similar to one another, whether was the beat, whether was the lyrics, even Before and Kill This Love are not similar. And y'all need to stop blaming the girls for the music and the production of the music and the music videos and everything. It's not their fault that their company is complete garbage. They are very talented, but their company chose to not to use their talent on their own favor, which is a complete shame. They deserve so much better. 5. Traveling to other countries just to see a concert is something I cannot understand. I am from the small country of Portugal, and generally all American artists come to my country to do concerts, but for some reason the big K-pop groups are not coming, but the small ones are. I know that my country is not big, but even so, Portuguese fans have already been praised by many great artists. For example, Adele said that she had one of the best shows of her career in Portugal. But going back to the point, I have a friend that she went to Paris in France to watch a BTS show, in addition to the ticket money, and if you have not forgotten the comment, tickets for the BTS show were expensive. She had to pay for the plane tickets, pay for the hotel room and all other expenses. The whole trip was very expensive. From my point of view, I would never do anything like that, because first it would be very expensive, and secondly I want my favorite K-pop groups to come to my country and meet him. So I prefer to wait for them to come so that I can see them in my country. 6. NCT isn't confusing. I know that the number of members can be intimidating, but getting to know them all is not as difficult as everyone says. I'm an NCT Zen and an advice. First get to know all the subunits and learn which ones are fixed, and from there it is very easy, as it is just going from subunit to subunit. And nobody should judge anyone by the fact that someone decides not to know NCTs because they have a lot of members. There are people who simply prefer groups with few members, and there is no problem with that. And one more thing, I'm thinking about starting to edit and upload videos of actually helpful guides of K-pop groups, because whenever I start getting into a group, one of the first things I do is to go to YouTube and see those guides, but 99% of the times I just end the video with the same information I had before I saw it. I want to make guides that are more objective and that explain the main and important information about the group to new fans. Guides that are not intentionally funny, because many of them end up being meme guides or inside jokes guides. What do you fellas think? Let me know the comment section below. You have reached the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next new video. Bye.